Hello, everybody. This is Dee from Dee's Cute and Crafty, and I'm back with another video for you today. I have three pieces, as always, to bring to you. I'm super excited about how cute and easy they are. So let's get into it because this first one, we're just really pretty much crafting from leftover pieces, bits and bobs, few scraps. It's just cute, and I love it. So you can see I'm going to be doing some hand lettering because I got my little marker and my pencil and eraser. I have some scrap pieces of cardboard. I have some raffia in all the colors that I have. And I have these little pumpkin boards that came from those long pumpkin boards from Dollar Tree. I used the bottom and I kept the top. I'm going to be using my glue stick, some jute twine from Dollar Tree, and some scrap pieces of craft paper from Hobby Lobby. So easy, super cute. Anyone can make it. Let's get into it. I'm going to start out by taking my squares with the pumpkins on it. And you can see that two of the pumpkins are big and one of them is smaller. The smaller one is Dollar Tree's last year pumpkin. The two big ones are Dollar Tree's this year pumpkin board. So that's the difference with that. I'm going to take those and make holes in all four corners. They come with holes in the top because that's where the jute hanger was, but I added additional holes on the bottom of each corner so that I can string these together with that jute twine. So I'm just taking something sharp, poking a starter hole, and then taking my screwdriver and making that hole bigger. We're going to set that to the side, and I'm going to work on getting my craft paper attached to my cardboard. Simple and easy, just using a Dollar Tree Jot glue stick. It doesn't have to be on there perfectly because we're going to cover it up. I thought this DIY was just cute. I really did. It's so simple and easy to do, as I've said, and I I love it. I hope you guys do too. If you have any scrap paper or any little boards that have a cutout in them, this is perfect for that kind of DIY. And of course, you can take your pumpkin boards and you can paint them, but I just thought this was pretty the way it was. You could dry brush it in orange paint. That would be pretty as well. But I'm going for, as usual, my rustic look, my farmhouse look, anything that I can get to look more, I don't know, just primitive, I guess, is what I absolutely love. So I'm just going to use my hot glue and go around the edges of my paper and center the picture in the pumpkin as best I can and press it down. I went in my own handwriting and I wrote the word thankful under what is going to be the middle pumpkin. And I'll go back with my brown marker and I will fill that in, make it all nice and dark. You guys, thank you so much for joining me for this video. I really appreciate you being here. It's such a blessing to talk to you in the comments. All my new subscribers, thank you for being here as well. Love you so much. So now that I've got everything the way I want it, I'm going to just add a dab of hot glue to the tip of this jute cord so that makes it easier to string through the holes. And I'm just going to string this together. You can space your wood plaques out a little further so that you can see the jute cord in between. I'm actually going to push all mine together. And here you see I left a loop at the top before going down the other side of this plaque so that I have a loop to hang my piece from. Now I'm going to take that leftover jute because it was a pretty long piece and I'm just going to wrap it around the bottom of this plaque. I'm going to cut another piece and wrap it around the top of the plaque so that it looks even. It looks the same top and bottom. And I actually did end up going through those holes a second time with jute because it looked a little thin and skimpy, so I did it again. I went in and out around the whole plaque from top to bottom on both sides twice, just to make it a little thicker. So here you see me taking my raffia and I'm pulling out one of each color. I have green, orange, a golden yellow, brown, and the natural color. And I'm just going to make a bow. Now that that's done, I'm going to trim it up a little bit. I decided to go ahead and cut the loops instead of leaving it like a bow. I decided let's just make it a little bit more, I don't know, more rustic, I guess. So I cut the loops, and now I'm just going to hot glue this to the top, and this little beauty is ready to be displayed. How cute is that? Here's DIY number one. You guys, as always, I need you to comment down below. Let me know which one is your favorite of the three that I'm bringing you today. Is this one my favorite? No. If you want to know which one is my favorite, you're going to have to keep watching. Moving on to DIY number two, which is already in progress. You guys, forgive me. I don't know what's going on. I thought I was filming and I guess I wasn't. Anyway, let's just catch you up, get you up to speed. I took one of the 14-inch Dollar Tree metal frames, wreath forms, and I cut it. I just cut it so that I could open it up. And I have 3 packs of black socks from Dollar Tree, and there's 2 pairs of socks per pack, which is 4 individual socks per pack. So I have 3 of those packs, and you're going to use them all. And I just cut the toe portion off so that it left me a sleeve so that I can then um, go ahead and slip those socks onto the wire metal frame and just bunch it together so it looks like ruching. And I done this last year with black socks and I made a door hanger. So I'm making another one. This one's a little different, but it's super easy to make. I think it is absolutely adorable. I love using socks to make a door hanger. I don't know why, I just do. I love the texture of it, and I have like this little secret joy because it's socks. I don't know why. Anyway, I am now taking a piece of that Dollar Tree wood sign that I used when I made the pumpkin DIY just previously. This is the other half of that sign. And I'm just taking my ruler and I'm making like a diamond without the points on it for a better way to describe it. And it's going to give me the form of a little coffin. So I'm just going to get everything nice and trimmed up and cut out using my X-Acto knife. And now that I have that done, I'm going to go in with my Hello Hobby in the color Slate. And I'm just going to give it a rough coat of paint. I don't want it to be all nice and neat because this is a Halloween decor piece, so it can look creepy and old and weathered and aged. After all, it's a coffin. Going in with my Rust-Oleum chiffon cream, and I'm just going to dry brush on top of that really roughly. Now I'm sanding it down just a little bit, just to age it a little bit more. I'm going to take my ruler and give myself 3 lines so that I can make sure my hand lettering is straight. And I'm just going to write enter if you dare. Going to do that in pencil first. Then I'll go back in with my black Sharpie and I will darken everything up. You guys, if you don't have, which I can't imagine you can't find black socks at Dollar Tree, but if you wanted to use something else, you could use a couple of steering wheel covers. You could use some leg warmers. I know Dollar Tree has leg warmers. You could use those, and you would still get the same fluffy, scrunched together, ruching type of look. Now I'm taking my Ghost, and these are just cupcake toothpicks. The decorative toothpicks you stick in your cupcakes. That's what this is. And I'm just going to take the Ghost off of there. They came from Dollar Tree with ghosts, bats, and pumpkins. And I'm just going to hot glue them onto my sign. And now we're going to make a ton of bows, pretty much like we did for the scarecrow for Charlotte, the scarecrow that I made. We're going to do the same type of bow technique, except instead of using, I think I used jute cord with that. Maybe, not sure. I wish I had a stapler. It'd be so much easier just to staple it together. But I don't have a small stapler. I have the industrial stapler that goes through wood. I need a small stapler for paper stapling. And so I need to get that. Anyway, I digress. I used my 22 gauge paddle wire from Dollar Tree to go ahead and attach my bows together because we're going to use that wire to push down inside the sock and attach it to the wreath form. I also punched a hole in the top and the bottom using the same technique that I used to put holes in the sign of the previous DIY, and I'm attaching it with some wire to my wreath form. So I'm going to take this pretty ribbon, and it came from Joann Fabric, the orange and the pumpkin, and I'm just going to make, I think, roughly about 18 or so of these bows, and I'm leaving space at the top because of course we're going to go back in and make a much larger bow. So these are just filler, and I'm only going to do down the one side, and I'm doing that because I don't want the sign to get lost in all of the frills that the bow is going to provide. It's going to pretty much take over the one side of the sign. So I'm going to leave the other side blank so that we can read it. Now, this was a little bit cumbersome. It was a little bit tedious. So just plan to take your time and relax and get this done because um, I thought it would be easier to just take the wire and punch through the sock, but it kept coiling up on me. So I took my small scissors and that worked out. I punched a hole through the sock material with the scissors, and then I was able to either follow the line of the scissors. If I left the scissor inside of the sock material, I could take my paddle wire and just follow the line of the scissor, and I could get it pushed through that way. So that worked out instead of just trying to freehand poke it through because it kept coiling up. So I just figured out a better way to do it. And on this one, I got the scissors caught up in my bow, but it was easy enough to get it out. And then I just twist it up in the back and I tuck the wire underneath that sock material so it doesn't scratch up your wall. You don't stick your fingers or anything like that. You guys, are you just about ready for me to start doing Christmas decor? I feel like it's still a little too soon. We haven't even gotten through Thanksgiving, but I'm itching to start it. So here's that bigger bow that I talked about. You guys know I make my loops, I make my tails, I stack and pinch, and then I just tie it on. But for this, I'm actually going to attach it using the paddle wire like I did all the other bows before. Just going to fluff that bow out, you guys, and this is it. I love this one. It just screams Halloween, and it's just cute Halloween. It's not spooky at all, and I really like it. Here's DIY number two. I think it came out really cute. Moving on to DIY number three, going to be using one of these round signs from Dollar Tree, three paint stir sticks from Lowe's or Home Depot, a little bit of Spanish moss. I have all of these paint colors: Hobby Lobby Sage, Pumpkin, Black, Waverly's Antique Wax, Hobby Lobby in the Ruby, and also the Americana in Golden Straw. So this one is hands down my favorite of the three that I'm bringing you today. I love this one because it came out primitive, which is what I was going for. It's rustic and it is so cute. So I'm going to start out. I just showed you a little piece of driftwood that I got from Dollar Tree. It came in a pack of those little sticks that are smooth. Anyway, so we're going to start out by cutting down this sign because it's a little bit bigger than I need it to be. So I just drew like a wavy kind of circle on the back because I don't want it absolutely circular. I want it to have, some little dips and stuff in the side of this wood round. And I tried to peel all that paper off the back. I could not get it all off. I even sprayed it and I still could not get it all off. So I'm just going to stain it using the antique wax. So right now I'm cutting off that little tip of the handle where the paint stir stick dips in. We're going to cut that part off, but keep it because we're going to use it. And then you're left with 9.5 inches of stir stick, and I just cut that in half evenly. So you're going to get 3 pieces out of one stir stick. And I'm just going to score all my pieces using my X-Acto knife, and then I can easily snap them in half. Going back with my wire cutters and trimming those pieces up. And now I'm going to cut the corners off of all these pieces. It almost looks like a picket, except it's just not pointy at the top. It's more rounded. And now I'm going in with my X-Acto knife and I'm just whittling it down, trimming it up a little bit more. I want it to be rustic and primitive. I want the wood to be, I want it to look like you carved it, is what I'm going for. And I don't want it to be perfect at all. I want this very rustic and primitive. I absolutely love this piece. You guys know anything that I do a lot of detail on usually turns out to be my favorite. This one is no exception. I love it. So now that I have all my pieces of wood trimmed up the way that I want, I'm going to go in and start painting them. You guys, if you haven't guessed, we're making a turkey. Yes, a very primitive, very rustic and colorful turkey. You know, I've not made a turkey on my channel like ever. So this is a first. And you know, people usually say Tom the turkey. I don't want his name to be Tom. I think his name's going to be, let's name him Terrence. Terrence the turkey is my favorite. You guys, I have been up since 4 o'clock, so I'm silly at this point while I'm doing this editing, but we're going to get through it. Bear with me. So, see, I put the antique wax on the back, trying to cover up that white that I could not get off of there. This is mine. I'm keeping it, so it's fine. I also use some Dollar Tree MDF board, which I often do to cut out all the other shapes that I'm going to need for Terrence the turkey. I cut out a wing. I just freehanded it and cut that out. Then I cut out his head and neck, and then that little gobbler piece that sits on the beak. I don't know what that piece is called, but you guys, if you know what that piece of the turkey is called that kind of just hangs over the beak, comment down below. I'd love to know what that is. Then I cut out parts for his hat, and I also cut out two small pumpkins for this piece. And again, I just used the Dollar Tree MDF sign to make my little attachments and my little cutouts. So this long piece that kind of looks like a thumb is the turkey head and neck. And we're just going to use some wood glue and hot glue to get that down. And I'm going to take a piece of my orange ribbon, cut it down to size, and just make a bow for his neck. This piece right here, what is this red piece called? That's what I want to know. So I'm just going to get all my little pieces hot glued down. I took that ribbon and I made a little bow, tied it with some jute cord, attached that to his neck. I've got my beak on. Adding a dab of hot glue underneath that red piece so that I can make sure it stays secure. We're putting his little wing on, hot glue and wood glue. Now we're going to put the hat together and hot glue and wood glue that on. I could totally see this again as being a DIY kit. So if I ever get to that point in my life, which I hope I do, this would be a cute kit to have. Just taking my Sharpie and making some little eyes. And add a little bit of a sash for his hat. I like to do that. And if the back bothers you, if you can't get all of the paper off of your piece, if you decide to recreate this, just paint it brown. It'll be fine. And now I'm going to add all of my plumes or my feathers or whatever you want to call them, just varying the colors around a little bit. I went back in with my Gator sander and I gave them a good sanding all around the edges to distress them, make them weathered. And this is adorable. It is definitely hands down my favorite without a doubt. Adding some wood glue and some hot glue and attaching my feathers. And I'm gradually going from smaller to bigger to bigger to bigger as we go up each side of the body of this turkey so that they fan out. Oh, I didn't show you putting the pumpkins on. What happened? You guys, I'm telling you, editing is crazy for me. But anyway, here's the final DIY. I just hot glued my pumpkins on after I painted them and added a little bit of moss and then some of that driftwood to the top to make my stem of the pumpkin. And then I just did a dry coat, a rough dry brushing of black on that bottom stand. And he is adorable. Just my favorite. Love him. I dry brushed everything because I wanted that rustic, primitive look. He's going to sit in the kitchen on the counter. This is the final reveal of everything that I've made for you today. I truly hope you enjoyed this content. Thank you for sticking it out with me and my crazy editing today. You guys are amazing, and I love you so much. Don't forget to like, share, comment, and subscribe. That lets YouTube know that you enjoy my content. We're interacting, which they love to see, and they will push me out a little bit more. It helps me stay in the algorithm, and other people can see my channel and hopefully subscribe as well. For that, and for you, I'm always grateful. So thank you. You guys, as always, I want you to be safe, be blessed. And until I see you in my next one, craft something beautiful today. Bye, guys.